was a cool flight. I did not expect it.
That was graceful.
Okay, today I'm with one of my friends that we met in. She literally fixed me after it was the Tough Mudder. I got I came back for her like one side up, one side down. She's like, what happened? I said, I don't know. She took me in the room and I heard all my body was just crack. I was like, fine, you can explain later, just relax. I said, fine. So, Fatima.
Hi. So nice to see you.
Yeah. She's running a very, very, very big clinic in Kuwait. It's called DISC, and people from Dubai, you know it for sure. They have part there. And I will let her explain what she's doing, who is she, and there is a surprise for she. So, yes. So, Fatima.
Hi, my name is Fatma Juma. Fatima Juma.
Yeah.
My friends call me Fatima.
Yeah,
I
Fatima.
like it. I'm from Canada, so I'm a physiotherapist. I've been here for 10 years. And 10 years.
It was coming for 2 years.
Yeah, I was coming for 2 and not
exactly.
being 10.
Yeah.
And basically, I was probably one of a handful of the first Western type physiotherapists that were here in Kuwait. And we did a lot of work introducing manual therapy, dry needling, and things to these activities in Kuwait. I used to work at a clinic called Fuzzy Sultan Rehab. That's where we met before. And then after 9 wonderful years there, joined a new venture, a new organization, DISC, which is based out of Dubai, and they wanted to set up a clinic in Kuwait. So I was hired on with another amazing management staff where all of us together were responsible for let's set this up and run a new rehab center here in Kuwait. So we've been open officially for 1 year.
Yeah.
1 year this weekend.
1 year.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am full-time for DISC, and now personal life-wise, I'm also after hours our motion. with
our motion
with Rubens Garcia.
Yes, you will see him later, guys. He's awesome too.
So I'm a physiotherapist that does a lot of manual therapy and cracking, manipulative therapy, and lots of traditional acupuncture and dry needling.
I know this question may bring some emotions for you, but can you tell us who's your dad?
My dad's name was Dr. Madi Baksali Juma. He is Pakistani descent, born and raised in Iraq. He moved to Canada in 1966, and he met my mother, who actually they both immigrated the same day to Canada from the Philippines. My mother and Avelina Juma, Kabahag, and they met at work, doctor and a nurse. They lived in coldest flat farmland of Canada, Saskatchewan. Married, lived there the rest of their adult lives for the last 50 years and made us 4 children there.
Aww.
Who cannot speak anything proper other than English. Growing up
so mixing culture, that's cool.
Yeah, so my father was a geriatric physician.
This is what I'm waiting.
He was a physiatrist, which is actually a rehab doctor by training. Moving to Canada, he had to redo residencies and everything, so he did a fellowship in geriatric medicine. And he was a big researcher as well too. He did a lot of research actually with the development of the birth control pill with Dr. I forgot his name, Pinker.
We know.
Back in the early 60s.
Yeah.
So then he devoted his life to taking care of patients, particularly the elderly geriatric care into the end stage of life.
Awesome. Yeah, because if you guys search about her dad, you will read a huge story behind him and what he did. She keep posting a lot of things happening. That's why I search about him. Search it. I'll put the name later. Okay, so our mission from this channel, hopefully it reach her mission one day, that we make people move. Period. Just to move. So now we're taking people to move, they walk more, they add more movement to their day, they start to be more active, they start to eat healthier. Hopefully people follow what we say. Now, we want to take it for lifestyle from you as expert. People sitting a lot of time now on chairs, on the DISC, or our life, all of it on the phone, social media, we are all the way down. She was checking me sometimes when I was on my break, holding my phone. I'm literally all the way down. She was coming fix your back. It's like, fine, mom. It's like, I'm just be sure Fatima's not around to check my phone. Like, ring. Otherwise, she's like, come to the clinic. I don't want to come to the clinic. Come to the
I'd be like, you come.
You come. I have needles for you. No, what needles?
Yeah.
Hopefully she don't catch me today, but let's see. So we today, Fatima, I guess she have they're doing this course actually in Kuwait. They're going through corporates and they're giving tips for people who staying a very long time on the disc or in the offices, or their job is on phones a lot. So I will leave the whole screen and you are free
Okay.
to show the whole motion.
Basically, we're going to show some quick things that you can do that can help change your setup at desk. Majority of the patients that we see in a day are complaining of neck and back pain. And a lot of times that neck and back pain is coming from sitting statically all day long or having a really, really stiff upper back. And if your upper back is very stiff, you're going to use excessive mobility through your neck and through your back. So since we're here at DISC, we're sitting at one of the typical offices for the treatment rooms. So this is actually a good angle to show desk setup. Now, this is typically how most people sit in a day.
Let me switch the camera. I will carry it for you. Yeah,
okay.
That would be better.
You tell me.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
You keep going.
So a lot of typical people, I'm sure if you see this scenario, I don't know if you can see with my hair.
Yeah.
They'll come into their desk, they'll sit at the edge, they'll have their feet crossed, and they'll be like either this or they're looking down. And or they're typing and they're mousing like this, or sometimes they're leaning.
That's me.
But a lot of times the big problem is sitting at the edge and you have this big space or gap.
Yeah.
So best thing, the number one thing people should do is they need to sit all the way back in your chair. You sit all the way back in your chair, prevents your limit of your legs being crossed. Because if you're here, you have easy access to do this, or some people will sit like this for hours. Now, it's not bad to sit like this, but it's bad to sit in any position, or even just sitting in a good position for long periods of time. So, I'm bringing all the way back. Next, easiest thing to do, keyboards and mouse, they actually need to be brought to the edge. If you have a wrist guard, which a lot of people have, those gel cushion things, a lot of people think that they're there to rest on, but all you're doing is putting compression on your nerves and causing more tension in your neck. So those wrist guards, get rid of them. Okay. They're meant to actually just to rest. So pull the keyboard to here, mouse to here, and your arms free. If your chair has no arms, great. If it has arms, the arms need to be lowered, so you can't rest your arms on them and type. They're there actually to rest. Okay. They're not meant to type rested on there, because if you do that, you're actually putting more tension through your upper trap, and it's constantly working. Biggest next tip is your screen. Now I'll pull the screen here closer so you can see. Okay. You want your eyes to look at about 3/4 of the screen up. So this is not my typical desk. This actually already has books in it. This actually still needs to be a little bit higher for me, because if you actually look from the side, I'm actually a little bit higher than it. Ideally, I would want the screen here. So usually I tell people, take like 3 or 4 stacks of photocopy papers or books, and you want to be able, when you're sitting at your desk, be able to look at 3/4 height, where you're just staring at it. And if you need to look up, you just gauge with your eyes. You're not having to do this, and you're not doing this. And the worst thing people can do is have their computer to the side, and they're like this. Yeah, that's disaster. I have patients, or they're sitting on their edge, and they're like this. Yeah. Because when patients come in and I see them and I look at them and they're like this, or heads like this, they don't realize. I can tell how they're sitting, and they don't realize that they're not centered. You really shift. Till I put them centered, and they're like, oh. So these are the easiest tips and things that you can do. You can adjust your chair, adjust your screen. If you don't feel like you're being supported in your chair, like I don't have a back support, but I feel like I'm being hugged. Yeah. If you have a big chair and you feel you sit all the way back, but you feel like you're like this, put a small towel, pillow, cushion, or you can buy a lumbar support and put it there to help make you more upright. It doesn't have to be anything expensive. You just throw a bath towel, and that will work. So these are the easiest tips I suggest for
Wow.
people to do. And honestly, every maximum 20 minutes at one sitting static that you stand up, stretch, stand up, go walk around, or just stand up, do something, and sit back down.
Okay, every 20 minutes.
Every 20 minutes.
That's very challenging
Yeah.
for whoever working in corporates.
Exactly. So a lot of people will say, I have some patients, they just set timers on their phone now. Just to go, just to remind them, because I'm guilty of it too. Sometimes you get involved in something and you're sitting for hours and you're working on something,
or meetings, or they are working in customer, facing customers. It's very hard to leave.
So in meetings, even then, okay, you shift, you move, you change. Don't try and just stay in one position for hours on end. And the biggest problem too is we've got Netflix.
Yeah.
People are on their laptop spending hours.
I used to
like
sit
this.
like this.
Or
hours.
So many people are using their phone as their computer.
Yeah.
So they're like this all day long.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my biggest thing to remind people is, okay, if you have to be on your phone for a while, you really put, if you're at home, pillows on your lap so the phone is here.
Okay.
If you're on a laptop for hours, like that's your main job, you need to be on a laptop, I recommend you get an external keyboard. So you can raise the screen. You set the laptop how high you need. External keyboards are foldable.
Yeah.
And really it's a must, because otherwise you're chronically going to have tension in your head. So as a physio, I can do all I want to you. I can help your alignment, but as soon as you leave and you go back to 8 hours of this, then you're just undoing everything that can help.
That's really cool. I will ask you another thing. I will really use you today.
Sure, you use me all you want.
Can you show us a very simple routine and people can use in an office like this, in this 20 minutes, and then they move? What kind of stretch they can do?
So ultimately, I want to get people up, and people don't have time. So I like using this stretch because it actually hits a lot of things at once. Now, if you have your own private office, great, you can do this. If you don't, if you're a little bit shy, make your coworkers do it with you, and they won't be.
1, 2, 3, up on your feet!
One of the best things you can do is just put your hands on your desk, step back, and let your body just drop in.
Okay.
Here you're stretching out your hamstrings, your calves, and your thoracic spine, which is usually the tightest. And if people can, if they can wiggle a little bit their butt to one side and to the other, you will feel that stretching. Okay, and then walk back up. If people can hold that even for 10, 20 seconds, do that 3 times.
Awesome.
At the desk, it's very simple for the neck where everything's getting so tight in here.
Yeah.
Sitting nice and tall, you're just going to bring one ear to your shoulder and just pull. So you feel that stretch from the back of the head down to here. This muscle, the trapezius muscle is a big one that's problems for headaches, neck pain, shoulder tension. When we're like this all day long, or we're sitting like this all day long, these muscles are tense. So ear to the shoulder, but make sure you're not here, you're upright first. Ear to your shoulder, and just give a nice stretch. And then you'll feel that in here. You might feel some numbness and tingling. That's normal. It's just because you're stretching out your nerves that are also tight. Okay. Next big one for the back of the head, your levator scap muscle, which runs from the back of your head to your shoulder blade. Next muscle, very responsible for headaches. Nose, you're going to smell your armpit. Nose down. And you're going to pull your head towards your armpit. And you're going to feel that big stretch from your shoulder blade to the base of the head.
Yeah.
This place where people complain of tension, headaches, which will refer to your eyeballs, pressure here, is coming from these 2 big muscles. Again, if you want to hold a stretch at least 20 seconds, 10 seconds, you're basically only stretching skin. You just need to get a good hold in there. If you can run through those 3 things in a day, 2-3 times in a day, it will reduce a lot of tension throughout your body.
Awesome.
Yeah.
With some movement that we talked about in the last videos, to add some movement. So now you move, you eat well, and you have some stretching that you can use. The stretching that you can use in your office with your, if you are alone in the office is fine, or with your coworkers, you put alarm 20 minute stretching.
And at DISC we're doing a lot of different corporate wellness talks and teaching this, because we want to help it make it part of the culture where people don't
Yeah.
feel weird if they're in a cubicle and someone watches by and sees them doing this. We're hoping more it's going to be, hey, a reminder, oh, you're doing it, I should
Yeah.
do it too,
Yeah.
to make it more acceptable. And these can be done in your abaya, you can be wearing your distasha, you can be wearing your suit. These are easy things that you can do.
Very
every
simple,
day.
and never be ashamed that you're taking care of your body. If what you're doing, like, fine, I'm happy with what I'm doing, don't. If you think people are not up to the level to listen to what you're doing, just pass and do whatever you have to do for yourself.
Yeah.
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 Agreed?
Yeah, agreed.
Good, we didn't swear.
Yeah. We didn't swear.
We kept the video clean as
Yeah.
much as you can.
Yeah.
Perfect. We hold it.
We did. No censorship.
No, we're good.
We'll be approved in every country.
We took care very well about our language. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was one. Yeah, helpful.
Yeah.
I'm looking for
Some easy tips. Nobody wants to do a lot of stretches and exercises. Everyone's busy, but you really need to take time to invest in yourself to do things. And if you're having chronic problems, unless you chronically practice this and do it all the time, it's not going to change.
Yeah. Literally, if you listen to this, she fixed me a lot, and she turned me back to lift weight. That was a dream in a
But you did the work, right?
Yes.
I helped your alignment, and then you trained in that alignment.
Yeah.
You
But
changed it.
I was not even able to lift the bar. You remember I was going to you crying, I cannot lift my deadlift anymore. It's like, not now. Did you start with deadlift? Yes. And it's like, again, wherever you are, if you feel any pain, it's not only that doctors, sometimes we neglect or we didn't really know what physiotherapy can offer. This kind of science has been been neglected a lot from athletes, from trainers, from general population. They don't know where to go when. Actually, physiotherapists are the best people to work with when you are in the gym. So if you have any pain happen to you, ask your trainer, yes, but try to have a regular visit for your physio, first of all, to keep your alignment and to keep you aware. And if you are doing anything in your training is not accurate with your body alignment, they will tell you what to do actually, and it will go parallel with your training. So it's really going to help your performance. It will help you to get your result faster and safer, hand in hand with the personal trainers.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah. Exercise is part of the rehab process.
Exactly.
So you can't expect to just come only see me and I'm going to fix things. You have to move properly, move more, and you have to change your habits, your lifestyle that are causing those issues there. We
say what we're going to say, and we're going to leave you now, apply what we said, and we'll check on you later. But now we're going to slide out. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
I'm going.